Hello everyone, welcome back to Gaming with Shoggoths. Today we're taking a look at a park that I was trying to build. A while back I mentioned like the concept of building a park where, kind of like the original Jurassic Park, almost everywhere you go you have to go via the Jeeps. So it would have like a big guest area with hotels and everything with like a Jeep track going around it, and then you would have the main park with all the dinosaurs, and like the original Jurassic Park you'd have a Jeep tour that goes through it. I wasn't going to do like a copycat Jurassic Park, but that same concept. So I started building it, and because I had promised that I would also do a park soon with no mods, I took all my mods off, repaired all my files to make sure everything was good once the mods are gone, and started building this park. Now I mention that because it's very important to know that I'm not using any mods right now. So everything was going fine. I built probably for about a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I got like the basic tour route done and started building like the hotels and everything. And then I was starting in the guest area, starting to like fill in kind of like the open spaces with dinosaur exhibits, right? Like, that way people walking by in the guest areas would have something to look at. And even though that doesn't count towards your viewing and all that kind of stuff in Jurassic Park, it still looks nice to have like those empty spaces filled in with something other than like trees and rocks and all that kind of stuff. So if the area is big enough, I love throwing some dinosaurs in there. So I threw some Archaeornithomimus in there, and just wanted to make like a little enclosure that people could see while they're enjoying these amenities in the park. And everything was going all right until I started to edit some of the terrain around the enclosure, and then this happened. And a single crash is not a big deal, right? Like since the game came out, I've had the game crash like once or twice. Not a big deal. I know a lot of other people have had more issues than that, and I'm thankful that I have not had that many issues. But then it just seemed to keep happening, and all told, within probably 30 minutes spent rebooting, trying different save spots, different, the auto save, the other saves that I had made for the park, it just kept crashing no matter what I did. The first couple times I was around that same enclosure and it just kept crashing. So I thought, well, maybe it has something to do with the Archaeornithomimus. Maybe it had something to do with the fences, so I don't have this on camera because I didn't record this part, because I was also wondering if my screen recorder was maybe causing issues all of a sudden, even though I've been using the same program ever since the game came out. But it's basically troubleshooting. But even without recording, the game was still crashing. It would crash when I placed fences. It would crash when I released dinosaurs. It would crash when I transported dinosaurs. It would crash, like all told, I probably crashed like 20 times, and I have no idea why. It's just this one park. And like I said, I'm not using mods. I had Steam check and make sure all my files were in good working order, and they were. I even went so far as to uninstall the game. Thankfully, it's not a huge, download file. But I did go and I uninstalled the game, reinstalled it. And before I reinstalled it, I make sure all the mods were clear, no files were lingering, because sometimes that happens. Nothing. Everything was gone. There was no Jurassic World Evolution folder in my common folder for Steam. And still, it would crash when I reinstalled it. So I don't, it's really weird to me, because I have, since having all these problems with no mods on, keep in mind, I've opened other like parks, built on them, and so far haven't had any issues. But I don't know what the cause is, and it's really kind of annoying, because I could easily just start this park over again, sure, but it's not going to be the same as it was. And that's unfortunate, because I did spend, like, you're not seeing all of the recordings I have, but I have spent about 5 or 6 hours on this park total. Even with all the crashing, like, I keep going back in and building when I can and saving often, hoping not to lose a lot of progress, in between crashes. And it's really kind of irritating, and it's also really frustrating, because like, why is the game suddenly doing that and only on this park? Like, it's just baffling to me, especially since I've had very few issues until now. And I could start this park over. I could deal with it until you know, I could deal with the crashing until I finish the park. But at the same time, I kind of just want to, you know, abandon it and be like, ugh, well, never mind, and I'll just do something else, because it's just frustrating to have put this much time into it, and you know, the game has just absolutely like just refused to work with me on this one park. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might try and continue. I might continue troubleshooting and see if I can figure out what's going on. But until then, you know, I'm just gonna have to work on something else. I might go back to using mods, because all my when I reinstalled mods, all my parks were working fine that were modded, and you know, like everything was fine. So I don't think it's the mods, and that's kind of, you know, I mean, that's unfortunate, because if it's something with the base game, something with this park, something with this particular part of the save file, and that's just really annoying. And I feel like on a game that I, you know, spent so much money on, I shouldn't be having these huge problems, but it seems to be a thing these days. Anyways, that's going to be it for me for today. Hopefully I'll be back with some parks or something real soon. You know, like I said, other parks, I'm not having these persistent issues, so I might just have to stick with them for a while until I figure out what is going on. Anyways, as always, I appreciate you checking out my video. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will be back, hopefully, with more Jurassic World Evolution real soon. Until then, have a good one.